both players don't have the uh, toss cards, but we're gonna see Deep against the Darius, Freljordless. So what do you think of this opening mulligan right here with all the heal cards? Is this a good keep
Okay, so
against?
Miggy over here, I feel like he needs to survive, right? Um, his creature is not gonna save him from the overwhelm in the early game. So probably keeping things like Valfeast and Graphs would save him in the early game, and then moving on to the late game, he's gonna go into deep and where big creatures come over in, and he's gonna overwhelm the Nox deck with all these big creatures.
So that's actually like the tightrope that you're walking when you're
Mm-hmm.
playing these deep decks, especially against these aggressive decks, is that you have to find that nice balance between your toss cards and cards that give you survivability.
Yes, especially, and that's where Tawny Toad shines, and it's probably the best card in the deck right now.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not gonna block this precious pet from Viole. So Toad is gonna do some work here, blocking this Ruthless Raider. It's not even gonna kill the Toad, and once the Toad dies,
Mm-hmm.
it's actually gonna heal
Back that to
Miggy the
damage.
Great here. Yeah, yeah, definitely. So we have a choice here between Dead Bloom Wanderer or Vile Feast on the Precious Pet, but Dead Bloom feels like a much better play. It advances your toss
Mm-hmm.
and can block the Precious Pet as well.
Yep, and especially when you can go for the Bow Feast the next turn on the Precious Pet as well. Alternatively, you also have enough mana for the Graphs.
hmm So Ballista now coming down from Viole, and we're gonna see no attacks on the side of Miggy, opting to save the mana, so he'll probably do a grasp on the 4-3 here unless he drops a rider.
Yep, and here we see a Ruthless Raider coming from Violet's side. So it actually
Mhm.
shows that he might not have the Ruthless Rider from on his in his hand.
Yeah, and but he can represent the transfusion play now.
So attacking with everything over here. So a transfusion into the Iron Ballista might be huge for Migi over here.
Yeah, especially if like he doesn't have his uh transfusion,
Mm-hmm.
but transfusion is just gonna punish this grass play really hard. But I mean, so that's why we go with the beast below play because it's just much safer than the grass play on the ballista.
Yep. And here we see he's deciding on the blocking options over here. So what do you think might be the best optimal block at this point of time?
I think this is a good block having the lifesteal unit in front because it's gonna be a what do you call this? Simultaneous damage. So you get
Mm-hmm.
to heal what the ballista is going to deal damage to, and then if he can't do a transfusion on one of the ruthless raiders because it's gonna die to 4 power.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels like this is the optimal block.
Yep.
He has Vile Feast to get rid of the precious pet later on anyway.
Yep. And here we see the transfusion coming in into the Iron Ballista and an atrocity off the top for Migi.
So Atrocity not really what you want to see early on in this matchup.
Uh
I
huh.
mean, you want to see all these toss cards. So definitely we're seeing what we were talking about a while ago, not having toss cards early. Because the later you go on into the game, the more useless those cards get. Especially with Dreg Dredgers being at like 1 power now, it doesn't really trade with much.
And yeah, as you were saying about Dread Treasure, he drew it immediately for Migi over here.
Yeah. I mean, better have these toss cards now than later. But I mean, at this point of the game, you really want to see your bigger creature since it's on turn 6 already. Even dropping a Nautilus right away without having it leveled up is gonna save you so much HP in this matchup.
Nautilus with the 13 health with Tough as well.
Yeah. I don't know if any of his creatures can get through that. It's definitely gonna get like a lot of blocks.
So it's probably a Valfeast in the Withering Whale over here for from Migi, and a
Yeah.
transfusion will be a huge punish over here.
Yeah. As well as a Noxian Fervor would be all right, I think. You don't get the spider from Vile Feast.
And he get one less heal as well.
Yeah, one less heal as well,
Yeah.
for sure.
So passing the ball back to Viole, having his time with 9 mana up in hand. And the transfusion as expected coming on into the ballista, pushing in 6 damage immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, if this deck is not like developing creatures or anything, there's definitely like a
Combat spell.
transfusion or
Mhm.
a Noxian Fervor in hand. So that's one thing that's really good about this deck. Like a lot of people say that like it's an easy deck to play or like it's brain dead, but it's really not. There's a lot of micro decisions that can win you the correct matchups.
Exactly, and a Legion Grenadier coming down from Violet's side. Wow, but it seems like the Nox deck is actually pushing in much more damage at this point of time.
Yeah, but I mean, we still have two grasp in Miggy's hand, and we have four cards in Viole. So effectively, if there's no Noxian Fervors on the side of Viole,
Mhm.
Miggy is like around 17 HP still.
And
So
you
he
also
has to
have
really,
a Maokai as well.
yeah. So he's opting for a dry pass here and going for immediately for the grasp. So I don't think Viole is gonna have one more transfusion unless he has all three.
That would be such a good top draw. So we see a Devourer of Deep coming down into the Iron Ballista over here.
Yeah, I
A
think that's the
Noxian
best play.
Fervor?
That's
Probably a
the best
Noxian
play
Fervor
right
here.
here. Yeah,
Hmm.
or an Noxian Fervor would be good for Viole. If he goes for the grass play, he just gains 3 life. But if he does this Devourer play, he gets to develop a creature on board as well.
And trading 3 damage into the Nexus from the hold on. A Noxian Fervor over here might allow Viole to survive.
Like he can throw his Grenadier into the
Devourer.
Devourer. I mean, realistically, if you're playing Overwhelm, right, and
Hmm.
then you Noxian Fervor or like deal damage to the opponent's creatures, you're
Yep.
actually getting in more damage as well.
And a Noxian Fervor into the Nexus.
So
That's a
it
cool decision over there from Viole.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, I don't know if that's like the best Noxian Fervor play he could have made. I mean, I think it's still great to try and save your Ballista with the Noxian Fervor on the what do you call this? The Devourer.
Devourer of the Deep.
Yeah. So opting to block with the Grenadier now on the Devourer. Some damage coming in now from Miggy, and we'll see a Darius perhaps, but a nice top deck here from Miggy. I would definitely spend the ruination right away if Darius comes down. Like, oh, let's just deny that already.
And like a Ruination just shuts the Daria off immediately, and he has like 3 cards in hand, so his options are fairly limited at this point of time.
Yeah, we're gonna see another Noxian Fervor here, and
A
Mickey
second
is
graph.
opting to spend the second grasp like almost almost immediately. He didn't even think about it. He was like, "Oh, if there's a Noxian Fervor here, I'm gonna spend the next grasp. Like
Yeah.
no
I'm
questions asked."
I'm not gonna take that 3 damage immediately.
Yeah,
And here we see Miggy finally pushing in more damage from his side of the board and a
yeah.
decimate off the top.
What are the odds that
Yeah.
Viole has like two decimates, two
Hey, you're
decimates
the
here?
aggro deck. Decimate is probably the always drawing decimate.
Yeah, there- I bet it's going to be two decimates. It's gonna be so crazy if it's two decimates.
If that last 2 cards in his hands are decimate, he's a true champion.
Yeah.
He deserves the
We'll just
win.
we'll just call it right now. He's gonna win the whole Bilgewater Brawl if he has two decimates in hand.
Doesn't matter who win, you're a champion.
And a nice devourer here coming down on the grenadier, preventing the 2 damage. But are we gonna see the next another Noxian fervor and force Miggy to spend his atrocity? But we are not going to see that play,
Yeah, it seems like his
unfortunately.
hand is not as reactive at this point of time.
Yeah.
So
But I mean,
Miggy's
I think
yep,
the game is running away already from Viole because just dropping down an Imperial Demolitionist with no one else on the board, it just feels so desperate
yeah,
already at
it's
this
like
point.
signs of weakness.
Yeah, sign of weakness for sure.
And the
Ah, so
second
he had
demolition
two.
is
Do you think it would have been optimal for Viole to just wait? I don't think so.
yeah, he
He
probably
would die
doesn't
to
have
the
the
open
time
attack.
over here.
Yeah, he would die to the open attack. I just realized.
And Miggy going deep immediately bring him down to 3. So a top deck Noxon Fervor could actually save Viole over here.
It's not gonna save him because Atrocity is in uh the the ballpark for Miggy. So if he tries to go for a Noxian Fervor play, even Vile Feast just saves him right off the top right there.
Yeah, bringing him to 4 damage.
But is this gonna be lethal already? He's gonna block the 7 power, 7, 8, 9, so it's not gonna be lethal just yet. But he has Atrocity to close out the game, and I don't think Viole has any way to deal with this Atrocity if since Miggy is just going to use it on the 7, 7.
Yep, definitely. And Viole passing the turn over here. Does it says that he has no options at this point of time?
Yeah, definitely no options. Like this Atrocity is definitely gonna end the game.
And
And
here
game
comes the
one,
Shiny Moon. And the game 1 going over to Miggy.
yeah. So we're gonna see Ez Karma on stream
Yep.
for sure, right? Like that's the next deck. And I was chatting with Miggy actually, and
Mm-hmm.
he was saying like, I'm so happy that people keep banning Ez Karma because I'm not really good at the deck. So
So
this
he's
is like,
actually using S Karma as a band bait,
yeah,
would you
it's
say?
a bad bait. Like, hey, look at this deck. It's so good. You gotta ban it. Like, I don't really know how to play it, but you're gonna ban this deck.
So we shall see right now. Moving on into game 2. Would Miggy pilot this deck as good as what you say he is?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Is he really gonna be bad with this deck, or is he gonna surprise everyone? And then maybe he was just trying to debate me, like saying he's bad at the deck when he's actually good at it.
So coming in with Miggy having a kind of decent draw from his hand over here.
I think not decent enough. Like he doesn't have a lot of things to shoot down creatures with.
He kind of have his Mystic Shot. He has a SA, and Ezreal is probably good enough for making free Mystic Shots as well.
Yeah, in this matchup, definitely, if I was the one playing the deck, I just drop Ezreal. Like I'm not even gonna wait for it to level up. I'll just drop it down, and then you have to answer with a Noxian Fervor or just allow me to get all these free Mystic shots.
And answering with the Noxian Fervors actually save yourself from 3 damage into the face as well.
Yeah, yeah. So that's a nice saying from Magic the Gathering as well. Like if they bolt your creature, oh that's just 3 damage not going to your face. Like that's always the argument.
Yeah, exactly. Once you see the aggro player using burn on your creatures, you're
You're
safe.
winning.
You're
Yeah, you're
winning.
winning. So back to back Ruthless Raider from Viole and also back
And the
to back
second
Precious Pet. Yeah.
precious pet.
So he's gonna come in with these attacks on all three of these creatures. Oh,
Ooh,
but
saving the
looks like
Ruthless
he's
Rider.
saving his Ruthless Raider. So what does that actually mean? Does he have like he's saving it for a transfusion play, perhaps, or
Probably
a
he will want
target
to maintain
for?
as much tempo as possible.
Mhm.
Making his board as wide as possible so that the Ezreal Karma would not have any way to respond to the creatures.
So Miggy has a couple of options here. Like This is the thing with Ez Karma deck. On turn 4, turn 5, like the middle of the game, you have this multitude of options that
Yep.
it really matters which one you play because it's really gonna win you the game. So
Hmm.
what do you want to see Miggy play here on this turn?
Well, personally, I would go for the Chum one play. Probably because of, you might be afraid of a Ruthless Rider. But however, with a Ezreal, you get to pick the Ruthless Raider away as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So we see now why he saved the the Ruthless
the
Raider,
Ruthless
so he
Raider.
can have a target for Demolitionist.
But do you think the Ezreal play would be more optimal over there during the last turn?
I think the Ezreal play last turn would be the losing play because if he clears it with Noxian Fervor, even though we were talking about the burn player using his burn on your creature is
Mm-hmm.
actually winning, it loses Miggy a lot of tempo
Yep.
because he's not gonna have anything on the board except the Shadow Assassin, and it's not gonna block most of these creatures profitably.
Mm-hmm. And here comes the attack of the Ballista and two pets as well. So we have been seeing like Viole going all aggro, really aggressively, bringing Miggy down to really low health over here. Do you think
And
Miggy has a chance to flip the game around?
I think as Karma, as long as they get to turn 10, they always have a chance to flip the game around. You know, it's just crazy 20 damage right off of that, right off of Ez and Karma only.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the way you win this is just by having. Oh, and wait a minute. That's a nice Fury of the North from Viole, saving his Iron Ballista from certain death right there. So he's gonna have it again on the next attack turn.
Yep, and especially Miggy going down to 4 health, which is in range of Decimate as well, where he do
Hmm.
not have a deny to stop him at this point of time.
So on the next turn, he's gonna have Will and Concussive Palm, so he can possibly uh prevent the lethal, but he's gonna be spending his whole mana. So a nice high level play would be to just pass because if you do action on this particular turn, except maybe Dragon would be an okay action, but once you start spending your mana, you're gonna open yourself up to the Decimate play.
Yep, and he has to always consistently keep up 4 mana in his hand to
So
deny
since the
that.
Decimate play is off the board, you can develop something here. So he has a choice of willing the Basilisk Rider, but definitely I think the Eye of the Dragon should be developed already because I don't think there are future turns wherein it would be optimal to develop this creature.
Yep,
And as we say that, Eye of the Dragon comes down for Miggy.
and probably putting in 2 Cloud Mushroom to clock the 2 spells for this turn to allow the dragon to be spawned right
Mhm.
over here.
So he's definitely thinking about dropping Ezreal, right? Like or he's gonna save the
The
mana for
mana.
the will and concussive turn.
Yes.
So here we see Yon, and if Viole doesn't open attack, we're definitely gonna see Yon in play. If he does open attack, I think
The concussive palm is probably the best play
yeah,
over here.
concussive palm on the Basilisk Rider. But he's so low on HP right now,
Yep.
and Darius coming down, trying to force, and this is definitely gonna force the concussive palm or
Oh, the
a
Yone,
will
right?
right away on the Darius. Oh yeah, a
Yeah,
Yon.
a Yone
Sorry.
over here
Yeah,
would be
Yon.
so
Yeah,
good.
Yon. Because punishing the development on the Darius. Two stacks on Ez. And he's gonna be able to block this ballista. But I think Viole is just gonna opt to not attack at all this turn.
Yep. And it seems like Migi actually might be able to turn this game around. Especially we have both Karma and Ezreal in hand, and he also have the Spirit Refuge for healing as well.
Two mushrooms?
He only has like what 10, 15 puff caps inside.
I know. That's why I was laughing when Viole got two mushrooms. Like what?
What the chances?
Yeah. So Spirit Refuge is gonna be on the board already for Viole. I don't think is is this the optimal play to Spirit Refuge right away, because now the person can just block and then Noxian Fervor at your face.
Yeah, and also not forgetting he also have a decisive maneuver as well to stun that Yon.
Yeah. So I don't think it's like this optimal play. Oh,
But it
but
seems like
Viole doesn't have any of those, and this 6 HP for Miggy is really gonna be crucial
mhm,
to get to the late game.
yes, especially. Do you think
So
no, Astro should be coming down over here?
I thought for sure that as Karma was
The play.
being dropped on that
Mm-hmm.
turn because Noxian Fervor wasn't spent to block the lifesteal
Yep.
from happening. So we're gonna see the double tempo play here with Will of Ionia sending the Darius back to hand and Concussive Bomb on the Basilisk Rider. Yon is gonna be a good blocker for this Ballista. Even if he has the transfusion, the Ballista is still going to die.
The only probable save for Viole over here is to save the disciple with transfusion, but it looks like
Hmm.
he doesn't have a transfusion.
Yeah, and this game looks to be turning around in favor of Miggy.
Yep. And here
So
comes the Ezreal.
developing the Ezreal now. And are we gonna see the Noxian Fervor play already from Viole? Maybe he was just keeping it in hand.
Oh, and the Omen
Omen
Hawk.
Hawk.
Does he has an option further? And here we see a Decimate. So he has been holding the Decimate the whole time.
Yeah, yeah. So the optimal turn last time was definitely to drop the Karma.
Mm-hmm. And
Another
another
puff
puff
cap.
cap.
I don't understand these puff caps. They're just they're just on top of the deck.
So a Karma here would be really great stacking with the Static Shock. Drawing him 2 cards, dealing 2 damage and adding 4 stacks.
Yeah, the real problem with this deck is really not Ezreal. Like a lot of top players agree that Karma is the problem in this deck.
Yeah, like multiplying spells like that is kind of dangerous, especially when Karma is on board.
So it just hyper levels your Ezreal when Karma is on board, and sometimes you don't even need Ezreal to win. Like just a Karma on board with
Enough
every
burn.
single one of your burn spells in hand is enough to kill the enemy.
Yeah, and we have a deep meditation immediately from the top, and a get excited.
I
Go for the
feel so
level up.
bad when
That's true.
Karma is around and then he does a deep meditation. The opponent does deep meditation. I'm like, so how am I gonna win? How am I supposed to win? You just drew four spells. How do you expect me to win? Even Rummage is just oh my god.
Yeah, Ramage is so
It
good
feels
over
so
here.
bad. Yeah.
Drawing
Spending
4 cards.
the fleeting mystic shot, right?
Yeah, it's basically a free discard.
Yeah. So opting to
Discard the
throw
Karma
away
inside.
the Karma Insight. No, this is not needed anymore. I'm just gonna draw my third Karma.
And I 2 Mystic Shots immediately from the top. That is those 2 deep meditation in his hand. He's probably have this game in his bag right now.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So Miggy showing that he's not actually bad at this deck.
And immediately 2 deep meditation to close
Meditation.
off the game.
Yeah.
More damage from Ezreal immediately.
Yeah. He
And
was
here,
definitely just debating us by telling us he's bad at this deck. He knows how to play this deck.
and here we have